Hello! In this video we are going to be smoking about weed, marijuana, and I am going to share with you something extremely personal, and that's how smoking weed ruined my sleep and how I ended up on sleeping pills for right now maybe 4-5 years, and how this is maybe the hardest thing in my life. And in this video I am not promoting weed or I am not against weed. I think that it's up to you what you are going to take from this, but yeah. So my first joint was when I was 16 on my birthday, and until I was maybe 20 I was smoking occasionally. I was not buying weed, so only when I was somewhere with my friends or someone and they, had a weed, I would smoke, but yeah. Then when I was maybe 21, I started to smoke daily, but only for a couple of the months. Then I stopped and everything was fine and yeah. But, few years later, I started to smoke one more time, daily, and I was smoking daily for years. Maybe 5, 6, I don't know, but for a long time. And I started to notice one thing, and it was every time that I wanted to quit, I was unable to sleep. Like, I had an addiction. I am going to say it, I have addiction, because you know that you have an addiction when you run out of weed and you are going to check your whole room for 2 hours for every little piece that you could find and you could put to your bong, and you are with your flashlight, searching your floor and so on. That's when you know that you have addiction. So yeah, and I've seen my friend also searching for the weed, but yeah. But I noticed that when I didn't smoke weed, I couldn't sleep. And I was able to quit for maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but my sleep was really bad. And it was getting worse with the time. So one day I quit it, and I was like, I am going to quit forever, and yeah. And I was not smoking weed for 3 months, and for 3 months I was sleeping 1 or 2 hours a night. I was like a zombie. I couldn't function. I was younger, so I kind of survived. But right now, when I am older, it would be way, way worse. But I was unable to sleep after quitting weed. Before I smoked weed, or until I was 20, I didn't have any issues with sleep. I didn't have a single night that I can remember that I wouldn't sleep. Like, I hated waking up in the morning for the school, and I was always like I would sleep more, but I never had a single night that I could remember that I wouldn't sleep. Even when I would be after 5 a.m. outside somewhere in the downtown, drunk, I would always sleep, unless I stayed the whole night, but it was on purpose. So for 3 months, I was unable to sleep. I was searching some forums and so on, and I found out that many people have issues with sleep after quitting weed, but they have this for a couple of the days, maybe 1 week, maybe 3 weeks, but usually after a few weeks or month, it will go away. I found only one person who said that they had this longer, but in the comments they told him that he basically have the sleep issues anyway and so on. So yeah, I tried melatonin, I tried CBD, but I tried CBD, I didn't know much about CBD. I tried like 3 drops of 5% CBD only once and it didn't help. And I tried 1 milligram of melatonin only once, it didn't help. So yeah, and after 3 months I couldn't do this anymore, so I started to smoke weed again, and I was sleeping, and I was sleeping fine. And yeah. So 1 more year, or 2 years, or a year and a half, I was smoking, until one day I quit it again, and 1 more time I made it maybe 3 months, and the same thing. I was unable to sleep, And when I quit it first time for 3 months, and I was reading about people being able to sleep after 3-4 weeks, every night I would tell myself that it will be better. Right now I am 3 weeks in, it will be better. Right now I am 1 month in, it will be better. Right now I am 5 weeks, it will be better. And it didn't. The second time I was not that optimistic and I went 1 more time, maybe 3 months, maybe a little less, little more, I don't know, and the same thing. And the same thing, after 3 months, I started to smoke and I was like, I cannot do this. And yeah, 1 more time, maybe a year later, I was like, I need to stop and I need to go through this, and maybe after 4 or 5 months it will get better. I just cannot smoke weed until the rest of my days, because it's like it was ruining my life. It's one thing is if you smoke weed, another thing is if you cannot sleep without it. You need to go, not you need to go, but you want to go to the vacations. Are you going to take a weed to the airplane, or are you going to be asking people in a new city for the first day if someone can get you weed or something? So yeah, I quit it 1 more time. I couldn't sleep, yeah, and I had some. 1 time I didn't have a job. 1 time I had a part-time job, and this time I had a job. And it was terrible. It was going to job when you didn't sleep a minute, because sometimes I didn't sleep a minute during the night. I would be just crying when I come up from the job, and yeah. And after 3 months, it didn't get better, so I went to the doctor. Before of that, maybe on the second time, I went to the doctor and he gave me something and it didn't help me at all. So right now, after the third time, after 3 months, I went to a psychiatrist. She gave me some sleeping pills. She told me that it is something which is not addictive and which is not that strong. And it helped me. Suddenly, I was able to sleep. And yeah, and they didn't have that much, side effects, or at least I didn't notice much, so I would just take them. Maybe in the morning I was a little bit, fuzzy or something, but I was sleeping and it was great. And I was ready to not touch weed again. So I was taking these sleeping pills for maybe 1 year, and I was not trying to quit them or something. I was just having a job, taking the sleeping pills. I was sleeping, and yeah. And after maybe 1 year, I accidentally ran out of the sleeping pills, because I didn't realize that I don't have that much yet. And when I wrote my psychiatrist if she can prescribe me, or she was on a holiday for 2 weeks or something. She was unable to gave me like the paper to get them, and I ended up for maybe 5 or 6 days without the sleeping pills, and it was the same thing as when I quitted the weed. I slept maybe for 1 hour. I would fall asleep at 7 a.m. or something like that. And that day or those days, something broke in me, and I was like, there is no point of never touching weed again if damage already been done. So I was like, okay, I can smoke occasionally, and yeah. So I smoked occasionally until I started to smoke again. Sleeping pills plus weed, you know. And I was doing this for 1 year or something. And my sleep got even worse, you know. I tried to, like, okay, before I was able to sleep just with the weed. But right now when I was taking the sleeping pills and I tried not to take the sleeping pill, only joint, I couldn't sleep. And joints were actually making my sleep worse, and I needed more sleeping pills. Until I quit it maybe a year and something ago, and I am like done with weed, and I am way more adult, and it made more damage because right now I ended up on the same sleeping pills, but I need to take more. And yeah. And right now, for maybe 1 year since I quitted weed, the last time I have been trying to replace somehow the sleeping pills with something natural, with melatonin, CBD, CBN, valeriana, and other like these teas and so on. And it's extremely hard, you know, because my psychiatrist, she told me that these pills, they are not addictive, you know. But there are two things when I was talking with ChatGPT and other AIs. One thing is addiction, you know. Addiction, it's like you need to take them because they give you high, or you are looking forward to take them or something. I am not, you know, when I take them, I don't feel anything. I don't feel more tired. I don't feel calm. It happened to me that I forgot to take them, and I realized only at 4 a.m. that I cannot sleep. So when I take them, there is nothing in me to know that I took those pills. I'm like I don't know. There is nothing in my mood that would tell me that I took them. But when I don't take them, I don't sleep. But there is one thing which is addiction, and they are not addictive in a sense, but other thing is dependency. And when you use something for 4 or 5 years, your brain simply needs it, and some of my receptors or something like, I don't know, serotonin, dopamine, or some GABA or something in there right now is not working without them. And yeah. I am making this video in like normal mood and so on, but you cannot imagine how many how many days I had which were terrible because I didn't sleep, because you know, right now when I like started to smoke weed again and quit it with the sleeping pills, it made everything worse. And trying to quit the sleeping pills, I had so many sleepless nights, so many terrible days, so many like suicide thinking and so on. And yeah, I still have some hope right now. For example, I had CBD and CBN oil, but I tried like edibles, and it seems like this edibles helps me a little bit more, and I was able to put my sleeping pill a little bit down. I have like a scale on 1,000 of the milligram and so on, and I'm waiting then, like putting it on the scale and trying to go milligram by milligram down and so on. But it's going to be extremely hard, long journey, and yeah. And if you would ask me if I wish I never smoked weed, yes. Like, weed ruined me so many things, like some friendships and girlfriends and schools and jobs and things, and I don't mind. I absolutely don't mind that I went to the college and I quit it because of the weed, and I went to the other college and I quit it because of the weed, and I didn't go out with my friends more, and I stayed at home smoking weed. I don't mind. I mind a little bit, but that's something which it's like, okay, it happened, like whatever, you know? But this thing with the sleep, it's the hardest thing for me in my life. Like, basically, I'm like, there is no way that I want to or can have children because I cannot rely on myself if I will sleep or not. One day, my doctor may tell me that they don't make these sleeping pills anymore, and others may not help me or whatever. There is no way that I allow myself to have a girlfriend because I do not want to, when I have sleepless nights, I am not ready to be there for someone or something. So, yeah. So, I think this is extremely rare. Like, people don't have this. But there are other, people who were smoking weed, and then they ended up with schizophrenia or something, and so yeah. I am not saying that you shouldn't smoke weed if you smoke weed. I am not saying that smoking weed is bad or good. There are people who benefit from weed, I would say, for pain, for some depression, for sleep, or anything. There are people who say that weed ruined their life, so it may be that some people, weed ruined their life, some people weed is helping them, some people may be just delusional or something, I don't know. I am not saying something against weed or pro weed or something. I am just sharing with you my real experience, and yeah, it is as it is. I can't change it, and there is no hope that I will get rid of those sleeping pills, but I still have the hope, like that is it's just I cannot give up trying to get rid of them, because then one day I won't have them, and yeah, so maybe in few years, hopefully I will create another video how I got rid of the sleeping pills. But yeah, as I said, right now, this night I slept pretty well. But I have many bad days because of this. So yeah. Thank you for watching this video. It's just my experience. Is completely up to you how you are going to take this. I am not saying to you anything that you should do, shouldn't do. As I said, this is something that is, I think, rare. People may have insomnia after quitting for a few days, few weeks. Usually they don't have it as long as I have. Maybe if I wouldn't start to take sleeping pills, but I would wait few more months, my sleep would get back. That's something that I will never find out. But yeah. Thank you. Just, you know, in other videos I don't mind, but don't be maybe. uh, I don't even know. But yeah, thank you. Take care and goodbye.